Smiley shot this shit.
Smiley and Memoriiies Media.
Shout out to Memoriiies never die. Y'all already know.
Shout out to Smiley and Memoriiies Media.
Shout out to my boy Smiley, man. Y'all already know.
How you all doing today? This is a Memoriiies Media podcast, and we got a very special guest in the building with us today. He's from Savannah, Georgia. He's a celebrity DJ, radio personality, and host for 94.1 The Beat, iHeartRadio. And he interviewed on the BET Awards. He's an advocate for Black lives, and the only black man I know to retire under 50. Everybody, please welcome CjtheDj. Well,
Yeah.
how you doing today?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling?
I'm doing good. So tell the people where you're from and tell them how you got into DJing.
Okay, man, I'm born and raised Savannah, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Pope baby.
Yeah.
I originally, before DJing, man, I don't know, man, like I always knew I wanted a career in music. I knew I didn't want to be no rapper. And when I first started, I actually started off as a promoter in college, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
my freshman year. I shot my homeboy DJ Mel. DJ Mel was DJing, and me and my homeboy used to bump into him in the club all the time. He was like, man, I see y'all out of Savannah State. I know y'all know the college kids, you know what I'm saying? Y'all want to promote some parties. So it was like, all right, cool. But man, I'm one of them people I just got to always press the envelope. So it went from promoting to hosting to DJing. Then when I found out, like, oh, I can make bread off this DJing thing.
So you was making more money off DJing than promoting and hosting?
Yeah. I mean, promoting, like, I was part of a promo team. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't had nothing to do with no overhead. I ain't had nothing to do with whatever they gave us. That's what they gave us, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I mean, and then honestly, you know, truth be told, my first year as a DJ, like, you know what I'm saying? Me and my brother EJ Franchise, like, we DJed in South Carolina for a whole year before we played anywhere here in Savannah, where we from. At the time, like, we was the young guns, and wasn't nobody really trying to mess with the youngins, you know what I'm saying? Everybody had rocked with who they rock with. So people telling me no made me also develop a love for the business and the hustle of it.
So it was kind of hard getting into the business when you first started.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We first started, man, people weren't really trying to show us no love. You know what I'm
free
saying?
shows.
Yeah. Nah. I ain't do nothing free. Now, you know what I'm saying? I can't say that, you know what I'm saying? I ain't do like no DJing events free, you know what I'm saying? But because at the same time, like I said, you know, I found out you can make money off of it. So I'm killing myself trying to do something for free just for the sake of getting on, you know what I'm saying? I do that event, it's over, and I ain't got nothing to show for it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was, man. Like I said, I mean, at the time you just had so many DJs, you know what I'm saying? You had like, you know, like the GOAT Dice Law, you know what I'm saying? You had LA Johnson, you had DJ Mel, you had like everybody had who they wanted, you know what I'm saying? Shout out DJ Duke, shout out DJ Ray, you know what I'm saying? All them boys from back in the day, you know what I'm saying? So like at that time, with us being the new youngins, like nobody wasn't really trying to rock with us, so we was going across the bridge to South Carolina like every night.
Yeah, you got to tell the father to get something done.
170, Studio 7, Wonder Woman, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of love for Carolina because Carolina gave us, you know what I'm saying, a lot of love and, you know what I'm saying, a chance to really build ourselves. So by the time we came over, finally started playing here in Savannah, you know what I'm saying, it was like, dang, okay, them boys know what they doing. You know what I'm saying? We already had like a whole year to fine tune ourselves. Yeah. So yeah.
So how did you get a feel for hosting, especially hosting on and DJing on 94.1?
Well, like hosting as far as radio or hosting just
hosting
like
as far as radio?
Hosting as far as radio.
You know you need some like a radio personality and all that. How did you get a feel for it?
Oh, so originally I started over at E93. I started over at E93 as like the event DJ. I was doing like a lot of the events. And then, like I said, it's always progression. Like it went from me doing the events to like I had like a mix show on E93. I was doing weekends, and then finally had me doing nights. And that's just kind of how I got into it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like when I first got on radio, like talking on radio, like I had to get used to my voice. I ain't like how I sound on radio. I was just like, oh, I sound like that. But I mean, you know what I'm saying, like the more and more like I went with it, you know what I'm saying, the more and more I started to like really get in tune with it. And I had like, you know what I'm saying, the opportunity to really work with like some real Savannah radio legends, OGs, if you will.
Somebody
you
put
know
you on?
saying? Huh?
Somebody had put you on?
Shout out to Gil Jones. At the time, Gil Jones had put me on. So crazy story, man, like at the time, before I got in radio, me, EJ Franchise, and DJ Ignite. You know what I'm saying? We was like a little trio. We was all staying together, and both them boys went into the military.
Yeah.
And man, I remember like walking around our neighborhood, like it was like the week we had to move out. I was about to move out of that house and move in with my mama and stuff, cause them boys was gone and I couldn't hold that rent by myself. And man, I just remember like praying, and I was like, you know, God, I don't want no confirmation. I don't want no star to shoot across the sky. I just want guidance. If everything I be seeing and feeling and thinking, if that's really what it's supposed to be for my life, then let every day from this moment forward move me closer to it. And if not, let every day from this moment forward move me further from it, so I can switch my footwork up and readjust.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like 2 weeks went by. I was like, man, I can't tell, man. I'm about to go join the military too. And I went to talk to the recruiter. You know what I'm saying? I was about to join the Navy as an E3, and I was supposed to go to Jacksonville on a Friday to get sworn in. And that Wednesday before, Gil Jones, who was the promotions director for E93 at the time, he called me and he was like, hey, man, we got this event in Savannah State. I heard you who I need to be rocking with. You want to do it? And so I ain't never looked back. You know what I'm saying? I just took it from there. So yeah, Gil was the one who kind of like got me on board with the radio station. It's also interesting because there was a period where like I went to E93 and I went to 94, and I was like, man, bro, I come in here and dump trash. I just want to be a fly on the wall, learn what I could learn. And like, you know, both stations kind of said no. One of them kind of held their nuts on me. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good. Look how it all worked out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it's my radio career has been great, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been blessed to like work with like some real OGs, you know what I'm saying? Some real legends, you know what I'm saying? On both sides, you know what I'm saying? Over here at the beat, I've been able to work with Lady Mahogany, you know what I'm saying? On the east side, I've been able to work with Lil G, with Kenya Kabine, you know what I'm saying? With Jay Chris, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of being like a middle child in it all, like, you know what I'm saying? Being able to come in and learn from that era as it ended, and then be able to sit while I sit in radio and be able to help like the next generation come in, like that's pretty cool for me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So how was it doing interviews for the BET Awards?
So I guess the straightforward answer was it was cool. The honest answer is like, man, like, you know, it's a reflection of the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get it. Like, at the BET Awards, like, they had, like, a radio room. And it's, like, all of these different stations from across the country. Even people, like, whose radio stations weren't there but working radio in this room. And it's just, like, a mad scramble. Like, these artists going from table to table. So it's, like, you ever see, like, Wolf on Wall Street, or, like, how the stock market be and how y'all just be madness?
Just running all over the place.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? It was cool, but, I mean, it was a reflection of the industry in the sense of, like, man, like, you got to grind. You can't really wait on nothing to come to you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, you might see an artist go from this table getting ready to go to this other table and just slide in real quick, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Let me ask you some questions real quick on your way to the table. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, man, like, BET, like, that was a great experience for me. I used to say all the time, like, man, like, bro, like, one year I'm gonna be at the BET Awards, one year I'm gonna be at the BET Awards. So, like, to finally be able to go that year, like, it was really dope. I would have been there last year had not COVID happened. You know what I'm saying?
So how was it interviewing Vice President Kamala Harris?
Man, that was dope, man. And
you was talking politics.
yeah, man. It was cool. You know, when I first got on, it was just like, you know, you only got like 5 minutes to talk to her, but I think, like, you know what I'm saying, between like cutting the fool and making her laugh, my time went over a little bit, man. There was questions I wanted to ask her, but right when I got ready to get to it, they cut me short. They were just like, yeah, nah, it's time to. I was gonna ask her about the vaccine. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a good one at the time.
Yeah, but they cut me short. So, but I mean, it was dope, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, that was like an honor and a privilege. You know what I'm saying, and like I was already, you know what I'm saying, rocking with her, but like, after doing that interview, like, I had like an even deeper, like, okay, she cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So how was it retiring? No, it was last year. You retired from clubs after
New
12
Year's, New Year's coming in.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I've tried. Nah. I mean, so like, my thing was just like, man, like, coming up, because like I said, when I first started, everybody rocked with who they rock with, you know what I'm saying? And at the time, as a new G, at the time, it made it harder for me as a newer DJ to try to get my foot in anywhere in Savannah. I'm born and raised here because of that, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, at least how I feel like sometimes, like, OGs or whatever, instead of progressing, they just stay where they at, and they don't necessarily, I ain't gonna say get out the way, well, yeah, I am. I'm gonna say, like, they don't really get out the way or make room for, like, the next generation to come in because they staying where they at instead of progressing. So, like, for me, like, retirement was kind of like, one, like, getting out the way a little bit so that these new generations of DJs in the city coming up, like, man, can do their thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then also,
kind of hard, yeah.
Yeah, and then also, like I said, for me, man, like, I gotta always progress, man. Like I said a long time ago, like, the 1 year I do this, whether it's DJing or whatever, and I don't progress any more than I was, or I'm in the same spot I was the year before, like, that'd be the year I give it up. So, you know what I'm saying? So me retiring wasn't really so much like me giving it all up. And, like, truth be told, like, man, I said, like, you know, I'll still pop out for special events or anybody willing to pay to retire. Right. And there's been people who've been willing to pay it. Yeah. So I'm still, you know what I'm saying, I'm still here. But I mean, I wanted to, like, you know what I'm saying, like I said, one, you know, man, let this next generation come in and do their thing, you know what I'm saying? I ain't, bruh, like, I done tours, I done clubs, I done shows, I done like, for me, you know what I'm saying, is what's next. And, you know, by taking time, like, you know what I'm saying I'm gonna retire, saying I'm not gonna be in the clubs every single weekend DJing, that frees me up to, like, you know what I'm saying, focus on what I got going on with the radio stations and, you know what I'm saying, what I got going on with producing, you know what I'm saying, like, that's where I'm at now. I'm like, man, let me, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and thoroughly, you know what I'm saying, submerge myself in that. So that's really all the retirement was about. I mean, I'm still working.
Also, with your retirement, did you feel like nightlife was becoming dangerous as you was becoming an older man?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I feel like nightlife is nightlife. I mean, I feel like, you know, truth be told, like, and it's gonna sound some type of way, but I just feel like the world as is dangerous on its own. Like, I could be out in the daytime and somebody having a bad day, we just cross paths in the wrong way and it's a situation, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily, like, I don't necessarily, like, operate out of fear, you know what I'm saying? You miss your blessings when you operate out of fear. I mean, it just, you know what I'm saying, I do feel like, you know what I'm saying, where I'm at now, like, I just turned 33, you know what I'm saying? And once again, like, it ain't nothing club-wise that I can do that I haven't already done. On the flip end, I got 2 sons, 5 and 7, you know what I'm saying? I got a family. So it's more so like, man, like, am I gonna continue to do this every single weekend all the time and it ain't nothing left for me to really get out of it other than a bag? Or, you know what I'm saying, cause I done that, am I gonna slide out the way, let this next generation do their thing, focus on what I got going on, and be able to dedicate more time to, like, things like my family, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, that makes sense.
It wasn't necessarily about nightlife being dangerous, because, I mean, like I said, bro, everything dangerous out here nowadays, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, if you operate out of fear, or if you don't do something because you scared of what could be, you're going to miss out on what actually could be because you were scared, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I ain't necessarily stopped because nightlife being dangerous. Plus, I'm from Savannah. Like, I mean, everybody's city get with it, but I'm from Savannah. So, I'm all right.
So this might be a little politically incorrect. I don't really know, like, the formal way to say it, but why do you think black events get shut down more than white events?
I mean, because the people in power, you know what I'm saying, the powers that may be that control, you know what I'm saying, what gets approved and what doesn't, you know what I'm saying. I'll say it like, you know, in this light, you know, Vibe Thursdays at Elon, Thursday nights at Elon, you know what I'm saying. Shout out my dog Chevy Said, shout out Tap Money, shout out the folks at Elon. Prior to us starting Thursday nights at Elon, there was a period where it really wasn't nothing going on for the black folks in Savannah. I mean, OT was shut down, Frozen Paradise was shut down, Club Rain was shut down. It wasn't really nothing. And that's why we kind of, like, popped off Thursdays, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's really just all in all, like, you know what I'm saying, without really dancing around it, it's just the people who can green light or stop stuff in Savannah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because there'll be situations at certain establishments, urban, if that's the word you want to use, black establishments, where there'll be fights, there'll be shootings, they shut down temporarily, and then they open back up.
Yeah.
There'll be fights and shootings at spots where black people reside, and it's shut down indefinitely. There may be a shooting near a spot that black people go to, and it's shut down indefinitely. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's just pretty much the most straightforward answer I could give. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's just, you know, the people who have the ability to green light things and the people who don't, you know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, not to sound no type of way, but I think that's why it's important, like, on the local level, you know what I'm saying? Like, you pay attention to who's who and who does what, because there are people, you know what I'm saying, who care about the way the city moves and care about the way the city grows and care about the way the city develops, and not just, you know what I'm saying, from like a black and white perspective, but just overall. Like, shout out to Mel Van Johnson. Like, I rock with Mel Van Johnson, you know what I'm saying, because it's all about the overall growth of the city. And I mean, like, if you look at Savannah now, you know, like I said, prior to us popping off Thursdays at Elon, Frozen was closed, OT was closed, Rain was closed, there was nothing. Fast forward now, you know what I'm saying, not only do you have like spots that people pulling up to, you got all these spots on the south side, from the 520 Tavern to, you know what I'm saying, people pulling up to like Favorites and Liquid and all of that good stuff. And then you got like Elon and Island Breeze. But you see, like, man, like, bro, like, it's a lot of shows bringing a lot of money into the city. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of good things. I mean, honestly, I tell anybody, bro, like, you know, Savannah, man, now more than any other point in time is like in a very good place, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, a lot of people always like to try to, you know, hit us with the we not in Atlanta, and it's like, we know we not in Atlanta. We know we not no big metropolis like Atlanta.
So you think you can be successful in Savannah?
Yeah, I do. I think that a lot of people can be successful. I think we've seen people be successful in Savannah. I just think that we also see this narrative to where it's like, it's either people feel like they have to leave Savannah to be successful, and in those cases, like, that's cool. Like, I'll never knock anybody how they succeed, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, you got people who leave Savannah, get successful, and they don't necessarily come back to like help out. They may come back. I mean, it's a few, you know what I'm saying? But for the vast majority, it's more so like, oh, I see y'all still doing the same shit, you know what I'm saying? Or you have people who get successful here and then they leave, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, like, bro, we've seen people from Savannah, like, achieve success here in Savannah. And like, when you look at the city now, like I said, where it is now versus where it's been over the past couple of years, like, yeah, no, we're not in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, but we're not a small country town either, you know what I'm saying? If you want to talk about, on every level, Savannah is thriving. If you want to talk about movies, like, bro, okay, they've been shooting movies here. If you want to talk about music, bro, we have nationally regarded artists out of the city, whether you want to talk Quando, whether you want to talk Flau'jae. I mean, you could go down the list, you know what I'm saying? If you want to talk economics, we got the third largest port, soon to be the second largest port. I mean, I'm being real, you know what I'm saying? If you want to talk economics, like, yeah. we are like one of the biggest ports, not just on the East Coast, in the country, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff comes through Savannah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's no coincidence that, like, you look downtown and you see, like, the rise of, like, Plant Riverside, or there being a JW Marriott, or Live Nation building an amphitheater. Now, there's no coincidence, man. Like, people see that, like, on every level, Savannah is booming. And it's, like I said, there's no better time than now, like, to be from Savannah, you know what I'm saying? So all I could really say is just like, yeah, you can find success here. There are people who have, you know what I'm saying? And for the folks who went elsewhere and, you know, found success elsewhere, like, bro, I'm not knocking that at all, you know what I'm saying? I think the only time I have a problem with that is when people feel like they went off, they found success elsewhere, and they have to make it seem like Savannah, you can't do nothing in Savannah, because that's really not what it is. Savannah has been growing and flourishing. Yeah, you're not really helping nothing by just trying to point and be like, oh yeah, y'all this and y'all that, because if you look at the past few years, the past 3 to 5 years, Savannah has grown, like I said, on every front. If you want to talk music, if you want to talk movies, if you want to talk economics, if you want to talk politics, no matter what avenue you point at, Savannah has grown over the past few years. And if it's been like that on this constant upward trend, where you think we're going to be in the next 3 to 5 years? So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, just to be clear, like, the people who found success elsewhere, I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem when they make it seem like, oh, Savannah ain't hitting on nothing. Savannah ain't going to never hit on nothing, because it's like, you ain't around to see that Savannah's growing. You know what I'm saying? When you look at cities like Atlanta, New York, Miami, love them, but like, how, at this point, how much more New York can New York be? How much more Atlanta can Atlanta be? But then when you look at cities like Savannah, cities like Charlotte, cities like Jacksonville, cities that are all on this upward trend, you know what I'm saying? It's like, in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, all in all, I'm glad to be a Pope baby. I'm glad to be from the city. You know what I'm saying? I love my city. Can't nobody tell me no wrong. Yeah, we got foolishness, but every city got foolishness. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but we out here.
Yeah. So you're a married man, right?
Nah, I'm not married.
Were you in a relationship?
I am in a relationship.
How hard is it holding down a relationship while you work nightlife?
I mean, it just all depends on the person you with. Like, the person I'm with, we originally started off as co-workers, you know what I'm saying? So like the work element was always there. We went from co-workers to like being genuine, like best friends. So all of that was there before any of the like romantics or, you know what I'm saying? And then I mean, like, honestly, it just made sense. Like, I've been married before, you know what I'm saying? So like, for me in this, you know what I'm saying, relationship, it just, like I said, we found ourselves being best friends. It just kind of made sense to, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like, bro, like, you got to have somebody like that you can depend on in your corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to. So, I mean, and honestly, like, because I've been doing this for forever, it's not really a problem. You know what I'm saying? At least for me, not in my relationship. Huh?
You're not. Well, actually, when you started, was social media heavy?
So when I first started DJing, like, you had, Facebook was mostly for college kids. I mean, it was just getting to the point where you didn't have to be on college to be on Facebook, and you had Twitter. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like no Instagram. People weren't taking pictures.
And it went viral. It wasn't going fast as it is now.
Not as fast as it's going now. Like, what worked in my favor for social media is like, with us, is like, when we did parties, see, like, people check Twitter to see what party was the move and what party wasn't the move. So if it's like 3-4 parties going on in one night, people on Twitter like, oh, this party at this spot don't look like it's hitting on nothing. Or, oh, this party at this spot look like it's jumping. Yeah. So the parties that we was doing, like, and I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, shout out EJ Franchise, shout out DJ Ignis, shout out Dream Team. Like, anybody who know about Dream Team and know about them days, bro, like, bro, we'll throw a house party on like a Wednesday, pack the house out and make like 2 bands in a house, wall to wall, the walls sweating, the windows musty, you know what I'm saying? And everybody on Twitter like, oh, Texas Street going down right now. Oh, boy, y'all need to pull up to. So, you know what I'm saying? Twitter was really like the big thing. And I mean, honestly, also like, because it wasn't really so much about like taking pictures and recording yourself having fun, people was genuinely having fun. And I feel like people still party now, but it's just not to the extent. It's like people party, but they don't really turn up until a camera rolling somewhere or something like that. And I mean, also, I guess if you wanna be real, that right there played a role in like me wanting to retire from doing clubs all the time too. Cause it's just like, man, like for me, it's like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been like, man, if it's 13 people in a room or 3,000 people in the room, if we in this room, we gonna have a good time. And it's like, man, like, I can't make nobody do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I can't. Right, I can't make. Yeah, I ain't even my type of energy. But you know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's like, you know, hey, bro, like, I get it. It's just the times. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people want to look like they have fun more than, instead of actually having fun, that's cool. I'm just not that type of DJ. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like every party or every whatever is an experience. You know what I'm saying? When you go out, you can have a great night. You can have a bad night. Either way, it's gonna stick with you.
So, what is your job as a DJ? What is your what are you there for?
Other than playing music? Yes. Other than, I mean, for me, it's always been about, you know what I'm saying, like, more than anything, like creating an experience. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you either gonna have, when you go out, like not being a DJ. If I go out, I'm either gonna have a good night, a great night, or a bad night, and either way it goes, I'm gonna remember the situation. When me and whoever I went out with that time or whatever, we talk about it in the future, like a bad night. Be like, boy, you remember that time we went out and all that foolishness happened? It's gonna stick with you for forever. No different than a great night where you go out, you party, you had a time of your life. Like, you and your people gonna talk about it forever. So, you know what I'm saying, as a DJ, you contribute to that. You know what I'm saying? You contribute to the experience. If somebody coming to a party or a club or whatever and you making sure, like, you know, people moving, people having fun, people drinking, people vibing or whatever, and they have a good night, they're gonna remember that for forever. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, for me, that's played a role in like my success as a DJ, and even more so like my longevity as a DJ, because I've always looked at it like, man, it's all about the experience. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna remember this night. You know what I'm saying? It's still now, like, to this day, like, people that'll still bring up like Savannah State Homecoming 2012. You know what I'm saying? We partied so hard in Tiger Arena, it was like a riot. It was like Project X after this, stand on top of food trucks and everything. They tried to blame me. What, me? They ain't do it in the arena. But it's all just about, you know what I'm saying, as a DJ, if you DJing in clubs, it's all about, you know, creating an experience, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, like I said, it's just different. For me, it was about that experience lasting the whole night. I think for now, it's about like that experience being recorded in a few moments, posted on social media, and that just for me, that's not really the same.
So do you think it'll ever get back to times like that 2012 event? Like a Project X type event?
Man, I say anything possible. I mean, there's still people who party like that now, you know what I'm saying, in certain places.
A group. You gotta get a group. It don't matter if it's 1 or 2 people doing it.
I mean,
a whole group of people and the whole party.
Everything comes full circle. So I say, like, you know what I'm saying, like, it ain't nothing that's happened that ain't happened before, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I would imagine at some point in time, like, it'll get back around to it. But, I mean, just right now, like I said, how people party, it's all about, you know what I'm saying? It's all about capturing moments, small moments within the big moment as a whole, you know what I'm saying? As well before, it's just been about the night or the moment as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you made a song, or you had a contribution. I don't know if it's your song or you contributed to it. Pop My Shit.
yeah. I made that, man.
What's the story behind that?
So like I said, man, I'm producing. Originally, so I'm working on this soundtrack for this movie Sunday in Savannah. And originally it was gonna be on the Sunday in Savannah soundtrack, and I reached out to Torpo. Man, shout out Torpo, man, that's my dog, man. And YS Baby, man, shout out Scholar. We've been rocking for a minute. You know, before he got in the radio, he was rapping, and I know we had a few conversations where he was like, yeah, he about to start rapping again. And so, matter of fact, New Year's Eve when I did the retirement party at Elon, we was on the party bus. And I played it on the party bus, and I seen his face kind of like frown up, like, ooh, like, I don't know what that is. So I was like, man, I seen your face frown up, man. You want a verse on it? And he was like, yeah. And so that's Pop. I mean, honestly, like, man, when I first made that beat, I didn't know what I was going to do with that beat, man. And honestly, I just had so much stuff going on. Like, you know, last year, 2020, I lost my mom to COVID. And it was just like, you know what I'm saying, quite the experience. But, like, one thing about my mom's was like, man, it didn't matter like how good or how bad things were. Like, she was just one of them people, she was just gonna be a G about it. And like, I won't go into the whole story of her passing, but like, I just know, like, you know what I'm saying, there are a lot of people who should have came out on the other side of 2020 and didn't, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like for those of us who are still living, and even now, like, you know what I'm saying, just a few months into 2021, I feel like even now, like, there are people who should be here now, but they aren't. So for those of us who are still here, like, you know what I'm saying, still able to do whatever, you know what I'm saying? If you got anything good going on in your life, you know what I'm saying? And I hate to sound cliche, but honestly, ain't nothing promised out here. So any day you wake up, it could have been over for you the same way it's been over for others. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you know, pop your shit.
So what were some things you was doing during quarantine? You know, some people was on live DJing. And
yeah, I didn't do that. The only thing I did in regards to DJing during quarantine was like I was doing a couple like events like on Zoom, like DJing on Zoom. So like the radio station, we did like Teachers Appreciation Week, and we threw like this little appreciation party with the MU5 chapter over Mega South 5, Root to the Bros. You know what I'm saying? And like I DJ'd that. And then we did like a couple Vibe Thursdays because the club was closed on Zoom. But really pretty much, man, my pandemic just, you know what I'm saying, consisted of me diving into producing. But then, I mean, like that summer, my mom's went into the hospital for COVID, and she was in the hospital from like May all the way through October when she passed. So it was really just...
I didn't know she was in there that long.
Yeah, she was in there for, and I mean, like, from the time she went in, and matter of fact, I'm sorry, it wasn't May, it was July. From July all the way until October, right before she passed, like, we hadn't seen her. We could only talk to her on the phone and stuff. And just, you know what I'm saying, like, it was a conversation we had where, well, actually, we only got to go up to the hospital to see her because the doctors was like, it don't look like she gonna make it, and we needed she wanted to update her will. and we had to be there to sign it. So that's the only reason we got to see her. And we was having a conversation, and I was just like, man, like, you done been in here all this time. Like, you ain't been able to see us. We ain't been able to see you. Like, what's your headspace like? And she was like, you know, out of like 50-something days, I had 3 days where I was sad. I was 3 days where I might have been sad about being sick and all of that. But the rest of it, man, it's just been like, if you're going to pray, don't worry. If you're going to worry, don't pray. So like I said, seeing how my mom kept her head up like that on her deathbed, you know what I'm saying? Like, if my mama could be like that on her deathbed, then I ain't got no reason to not spend the rest of my life with that same energy. You know what I'm saying? And so I guess just bringing it back around to my 2020, man, it was just a matter of just trying to balance life. Like I said, I feel like 2020 tested everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I feel like 2020 showed us like what kind of house we got. I said this at her funeral. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the story of the 3 pigs. Like, you know what I'm saying? It really shows you whether you got a straw house, a stick house, or a brick house. You know what I'm saying? The straw house, it ain't nothing to knock over. Some of us, anytime one little bad thing happens, it blows our whole day. You know what I'm saying? A stick house, sticks are a little bit more sturdier than straw, but they ain't hard to break or hard to knock over. And there's some of us who, like, we've been through things and we've got experiences, you know what I'm saying? We should be strong, but then anytime something happens, we instantly forget all the stuff we've been through and we knocked over too, you know what I'm saying? And then on the flip end, some of us got brick houses, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like 2020 showed us what kind of house we had, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like for my mom's, like 2020 showed her, but like she got a brick house, you know what I'm saying? Like, and once again, like to see my mom spend her last few days on earth like that, I just feel like, man, like I ain't got no choice, you know what I'm saying, but to keep that energy moving through the rest of my life. Yeah.
So you had I don't know where you was. This probably was the BET Awards. You had Kirk Franklin make your mama a shout out.
Yeah. That made her day, man.
Yeah. How she felt about that one?
Man, that made her day, man. That made her day, man. Like
at the funeral, I think they were saying she was like a hard Christian woman. Like,
oh yeah,
real,
man.
real.
Yeah, my mom's ain't played no games, man. My mama said, like, on her death, she said, man, bro, like 3 days out of 50-something days, 3 days, she felt some type of way. And after that, you know what I'm saying, she just like, man, like, if you're going to pray, don't worry. If you're going to worry, don't pray. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, nah, that made her day, man. Like, and it was dope for me to be able to do that for her. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, like, I remember there was a time my mom was telling me, like, hey, man, like, that DJing job, that music job ain't going to get you nowhere. You might well leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was heartbroken when I told her I wasn't going to the Navy. But, you know what I'm saying, in the same breath, when she saw, like, all that I was doing, like, you know what I'm saying, she told me, like, man, you know, she became my biggest fan, you know what I'm saying, she told me how proud of me she was, and she even leveled, she was like, man, you know, she loved that, like, can't nobody really tell me what to do. It made her mad as my mom that she couldn't make me do what it is she wanted to do, but at the same time, like, she was real and just was like, you know what I'm saying, like, a lot of people not like that, to be able to, like, you know what I'm saying, just do what they do regardless of what anybody got to say. So, you know what I'm saying, to be able to hear that from her, and in the same time, like, with everything that I've done, be able to do something like get Kirk Franklin to say, hey, I'm coming to your house, can you cook?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
macaroni.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And she was ready to. She like, what that Kirk tell me? I like, I don't know, mama. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, nah, that was dope to be able to do that for her, man.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Scholar?
Scholar, man, Scholar my dog, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I met Scholar, I had first started working for 94.1 The Beat in 2016. And, like, my second week here, the Beat station in Orlando was doing this thing called the Juice Tour, where they was going to these high schools, and they came to Windsor Forest and Savannah High here, and they partnered with the Beat station here. And so I went out to DJ, and Scholar was hosting, I was DJing. We hadn't even had a conversation yet, you know what I'm saying? We just, I don't know, it just kind of clicked. Like, he went out there hosting, I was playing music, and we just kind of like, without even having a conversation with each other, like, had just clicked. And like, the crowd was going crazy, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I mean, from there, like, man, we linked up, man. Scholar my dog, man. Like, one thing about Scholar, man, that man go stick and move, and I'm a stick and mover, you know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, we just, you know, that's my guy.
So how was it, how did it feel going on like a little promo tour during Super Bowl weekend?
Oh, man.
Like, marketing, pop my shit.
Hey, I mean, bruh, it's an experience, you know what I'm saying? Like, once again, like, you know, that man will stick and move, that man will hit the road, and I'm the same way, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, going out Super Bowl weekend, I know it was a blast for him because, like, you know, now he's doing radio in Birmingham. Shout out 95.7 Jams. And, you know what I'm saying, that was like his first time back in Florida in like almost a year. So, you know what I'm saying, and I mean, like, that my first time back in Orlando in like almost a year. So between Orlando and Tampa, bro, it was just a good time. A good time. Yeah. It was all cool.
So, Quando Rondo got in a situation, right? Mm-hmm. Not to get into that situation, I just want to talk about how it affects you. Quando Rondo got into a situation with some Chicago dudes. Does that affect how you DJ and what music you play? Cause since he's from Savannah.
I mean, not really. I mean, because it's like, you know what I'm saying, like, first off, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I'ma always rep for the hometown. So like I play Quando, you know what I'm saying? But also like if I'm DJing in the club and somebody wanna hear something from a rapper that them boys don't necessarily rock with, like I gotta play for the people, you know what I'm saying? It's kinda like if I live, like bro, like I got a lot of love for Quando, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, so it ain't even like, oh, I'm rocking with ops or nothing. It's just like, man, like with rappers in general, bro, like rappers get into it with each other all the time. So like as a DJ, unless you like in them boys camp, you know what I'm saying? Like on the road, signed to them boys or whatever the case may be, like, bro, you ain't gonna never be able to play nothing because rappers get into it with each other all the time. That's like me saying like, oh, if I go into a club, I gotta choose between whether I'm gonna play Dolph or whether I'm gonna play Moneybagg Yo. Both of them got hits that's gonna get the club off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I met both of them, cool, but I ain't necessarily tied into their camps. You know what I'm saying? Like, they beef ain't got nothing to do with me at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I guess that's the most straightforward way to answer the question. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless it's a situation where like I'm directly tied to an artist, then yeah. Like if I'm directly tied to an artist, then yeah, bro. Like, I gotta ride with them just off GP, you know what I'm saying? But like as a DJ, you know what I'm saying? Like my priority is the people. So, and like I said, not just them, like any rapper, bro, take your pick. Like since the beginning of time, like rappers been beefing with each other for forever. So like, if you pick a side that you ain't necessarily gotta pick, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that like, bro, I ain't got no luck, bro, come on now. Like I said, I'm a Pope baby, you know what I'm saying? But it's just all in all, like I said, bro, rappers beef with each other all the time. So as a DJ, unless you're directly affiliated with an artist or they camp or they campaign, you know what I'm saying, you in that, then you ain't gonna be able to play nothing because everybody beef. Everybody beef, you know what I'm saying? Everybody beef, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like that's just the only way to really answer that, man. But nah, bro, like, man, I'ma always support that man, you know what I'm saying? Because he repping the hometown and like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the city need more of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always rep the hometown before anywhere else. But you know what I'm saying, as far as like picking a side, like I said, I'm not directly affiliated with anybody. So if I do that, I ain't gonna be able to play shit because everybody beef with somebody at some point. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's fake beef, like folks going back and forth on social media, or whether that job legit and real. You know what I'm saying? As a DJ, I put it to you like this, even if it's not rap, like if I see two people over here getting into it, and it ain't got nothing to do with me, then it ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? And it would be lame for me to speak on a situation because it ain't got nothing to do with me. So, yeah, that's just the best answer I could give you.
Well, shoot, thank you for taking your time out to do the interview with me. You know what I'm saying?
Problem,
I'm very appreciative. And I got one more question before I let you go.
Okay.
But when it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered for? What memory do you want to leave?
Leave for who? For just everybody?
The last thought you want people to like, yo, this is what I remember CJ for.
Man, this gonna sound extra, however, but man, like I've learned a long time ago, like not to put stock in what people think about me, because people gonna think what they want to think regardless, if that make any sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I just want people to remember me however they remember me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, I know who I am. I know how I am. You know what I'm saying? And the people I've had interactions with, like, you know, I ain't never crossed nobody. I ain't never hated on nobody. I ain't never done no flam stuff or nothing like that. And that's part of the reason why, you know what I'm saying, like people rock with me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know how I would want people to remember me. I guess if anything, I would just want everything I've done to contribute to, you know what I'm saying, like the continuous growth of Savannah.
Yes, sir.
And that's that, whether I'm here, whether I'm gone, you know what I'm saying, whether I'm in the city or whether I'm out the city, you know what I'm saying, like, but all in all, like I ain't never been one to put stock in like what people think about me, because once again, like my beginnings, people wasn't even rocking with me. So if I'd have put thought in the, you know what I'm saying, how much people didn't rock with me, maybe things would be different for me, you know what I'm saying. I just, at the end of the day, as long as I could close my eyes and be solid with myself, then that's cool. The only people I care about what they think about me when I leave this earth is like my family. Other than that, man, like people gonna love you, people gonna hate you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, Michael Jackson been dead. People still talk trash about Michael Jackson. It don't really matter, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, as long as I could be solid or continue to stay solid, and as long as when I leave, you know what I'm saying, this earth, like my family remember me for, you know what I'm saying, who I really am and all of that good stuff, that's good enough by me, man. Anybody else, you know what I'm saying, all the other people, man, hey, the positive, I'm appreciated. Those who gon' talk shit like everybody talk shit about people when they die these days, I don't know, because it won't bother me if I don't even think about how much their opinion could matter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, thank you, Will. Tell the people where they can find you at on social media.
Man, you can follow me Facebook, Twitter. I'm mostly heavy on Instagram at CJ, that's my DJ. You can tune in with me Monday through Friday on 94.1 The Beat in Savannah. If you ain't in Savannah, you can tune in through that free iHeartRadio app. You know what I'm saying? You can also catch me Friday, Saturday nights, mixing it up. And I mean, you can just find me just about everywhere, man. At CJ, that's my DJ. I ain't hard to find, man. I ain't hard to find at all.
Well, yes, sir. This has been the Memoriiies Media Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. And y'all have a blessed day.
Boom.